Okay. So how you been doing today? Oh shit. All right, let's start this thing up. Yeah. Okay, welcome everybody. This is the Bronze Boot Camp, part of the Trinity Force Network. We're here every Saturday starting at noon Pacific Standard Time to help you get better at the game. You can come join us in the Trinity Force channel. In game, it's T Force. We'll be setting up a few games here today. Just a quick note for everybody interested in Bronze Boot Camp. We're not starting this week, but here in the future, if you didn't hear on the podcast, we're going to start giving out rewards for the best play. Not this week, but pretty soon here. Whenever Adam gets this all together, for sure, we'll get it going. But yeah, it's going to be for the best play. Not necessarily the flashiest, but the one that maybe helps out the team the most. Or it may just also be the flashiest too. I can't say yet, but look forward to that. We're gonna start doing like things like $10 in RP per week. Yeah. Seagrove's not here this week, so I'm joined by a veteran of Bronze Boot Camp and Battle Arena, Mr. Frown Power here.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing great. You've been playing mostly in the Bronze Boot Camps most Saturdays. So what does it feel like to be on the other side right now?
It's a little different.
Yeah, because you recently got into silver, I think you said, right?
Yeah, I don't play a whole lot of range, so
Mm-hmm.
it kind of took a while for me to get out of bronze, but I always knew that I was, at least mid-silver as far as my skill level went. I just
Mm-hmm.
didn't play enough games to get out. But
Yeah.
I still definitely learned quite a bit in the bronze boot camp and battle arenas, and
Okay. Need to update the title of the stream. So as always, guys, keep questions rolling in T4 in the chat channel here on Twitch. We'll be glad to answer them as they come up. If we're not talking directly about the game going on. So a little change from last week and the weeks before. We're gonna try not talking as much during the team fights, and just like sitting back and watching them, then analyzing right after that. So let's talk a little bit about picks and bans here right now. Blue team banning Fizz, Tristana, and Akali. I'm not really seeing the Tristana bans as much anymore. I just think that it's kind of a Cassidon sort of thing. Like, she was banned for so long that people just sort of forget about her now as a viable pick.
yeah, but I still think it's a somewhat viable ban because she's still a late game monster. Her nerfs really hurt her early game, so you can kind of bully her out early. But if you let her get some free farm in lane or give up a couple kills early, she still becomes a monster late. So
Yeah,
uh,
definitely. And I think she better fits into that role now with the changes that they've made to her kit.
yeah, and right now, really, there's no must ban champion. So it's a lot about just what you'd rather not play against.
Yeah, sure. I still think people like Akali should be banned all the time. That's just
Yeah, I don't
personal
like playing
preference,
against
maybe.
I don't like playing against Akali. One of the things that whenever I was getting out of bronze is I know I can play against Blitzcrank, but I banned Blitzcrank because I didn't always have a duo Q ADC that I knew could get away from Blitz,
Mm-hmm.
and so I was just like, I'm not going to take the chance of this guy getting pulled all the time and feeding, and so I just took him out because there's nobody out there right now that's like, oh, he's going to get fed and he's going to do anything like Jax was early in the season. Or
Yeah. Yeah, let's talk about Ashe getting locked in. Not a common AD carry we see too much. I like her, especially in the lower elos. I think she does a really good job poking and harassing early game. So it's a good counter to people like hyper carries, like maybe Jinx or Tristana.
Yeah, and her passive is really sneaky too.
Hmm.
That bonus crit from level 1 that you just don't account for.
Hmm. And she works really well again with a AD carry, sort of like Zyra or Karma that can help poke early.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, honestly, she can play into a lot of different support lanes and do fairly well. What I wouldn't like to see is like a sustain lane, because come mid game, you're kind of screwing yourself over for a counter engage from the other side. But we do see a hover over Braum or Sona. Both of them would be a pretty good pick here for the bottom lane.
Oh, this team that they're hovering right now with the Nivea and
Freljord everywhere, man.
it's so slow. That would be such an annoying team on the blue side to play against.
Hmm. They do. If this does get locked in, they have a lot of ability to single out targets.
Hmm.
Um,
It's locked
Problem
in.
is, yeah, on the other side, you see people. Jinx and Thresh both have ways to really disengage.
Hmm.
But,
Um,
yeah, they do see the Anivia getting locked in, and it will be a mid against,
Diana.
yeah, probably a Diana. Which.
Not sure how I like that into a Nivea.
Yeah, welcome to the pain train. This is not going to be a fun lane for Anivia at all. Like even when you're playing passive, if Diana lands one of those Qs post 6, chances are she's going to go in and blow you up.
Hmm. Um, I don't really like purple team's comp. It doesn't seem like it has a lot of synergy anywhere. Like Jinx Thresh in the bottom lane is a pretty good combo, and then Diana, if she can get a kill or two early and then start roaming, yeah, shit, that's really strong.
Hmm.
But that the Mordekaiser kind of throws it off.
See, overall, I like it better. They have a good team fighting AOE sort of comp where you get that Amumu and Thresh going in there going tanky with Diana to sort of clean up priority targets. Whereas on the blue team, you have people like Rammus and Anivia who are able to put down a lot of pressure onto single targets, while Ashe, until very late game, is not like a really great AD carry to sort of get pressure onto other targets like Jinx or Tristana can, and she doesn't have that mid-game spikes like a Corki.
Yeah, that is
Or
true.
yeah.
Blue team needs to win early because um, a late game Jinx is going to beat a late game Ashe, and you know they have a much better late game on purple team with Diana and Jinx.
Yeah, especially Mumu.
Hmm.
If yeah, if Amumu starts to get ahead at all, it's going to be downhill. Now, for the purple team, if you have an Amumu on your team, you should be expecting a gank. I mean, not a gank, but a jungle invade early. It's just kind of what happens.
Yeah, I always, um, not always, sometimes, depending on how the other team goes,
Mm-hmm.
you like to have one person go over and put a ward in the river bush by your red. Well, you're on purple side, so you want to, yeah, in the river bush by your red, and then you'll be over by your blue because you need to start blue. And if you see them go over there, you need to all immediately go to their blue or go to counter invade their invade and
Mm-hmm.
push it out. And your team at level 1, I believe, would probably have the advantage, especially if they take their talents before you get to lane or before they get to lane.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Yeah, when you got those early trinkets, there's no reason not to use them like in that first minute, because by the time you get into the lane and you're expecting a gank at around the 3 to 350 mark, you already have that trinket ward back up.
and always hold, like whenever, always hold your starting abilities until you're ready to start leashing or you see an invade, because um, for example, Thresh likes to start Flay, but if you're going to counter invade, it might be better to go in and have Hook ready. um, Amumu always starts either as W or as E, depending on how you play him. I play him starting my E for the damage reduction.
Yeah. Now, if they are on the purple team here, and they do see blue team coming in for invade, I would not want to. I don't want to see anyone more than Mumu and maybe Mordekaiser going in to get the other blue. You know, we see people do that too often. Like, you're going in for an invade, so the whole team goes in and they stay to get the buff. Well, by that time you've gotten the buff, you've already missed a whole wave to a wave and a half by the time you get back, and that is. That can decide the whole game right there, just because you're then down for the rest of the time in experience and levels.
I was saying more if they were going to counter invade, to make sure that they get their CCs.
Well, what I'm saying is if they do decide to do a, you mean like a counter invade on their own? Okay.
Yeah, if they went to go stop their own invade.
Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to think who would come out on top there if they did decide to do a level 1. You know, I'd still think it would be the blue team that'd come out on top. Just looking at their level 1 potential, especially with an Ashe, who's going to have that guaranteed crit with her frost volley. That puts out a ton of damage. And Braum getting his Q, that's a guaranteed stun. Rammus, that's a guaranteed taunt. Anivia with a Q. That's just so much more than what the other team could possibly bring.
Yeah. Would be better off just to go to their blue.
Okay, so yeah, don't forget, guys, if you got any questions about the game going on, your play, anything else in general, yeah, don't be afraid to ask. We'll be getting into game here pretty soon. Looks like everyone's loading in pretty fast, except for Thresh.
We got no teleport from purple team.
Okay. I don't mind that necessarily. Mordekaiser is going to do well with that ignite.
Yeah, well, that combined with his ult, it's not bad, but.
Let's get everything reorganized here. There we go. Okay, so we do see the ping. That was blue team pinging out to their blue. So, I'm not sure. Are they thinking that purple team's going to invade theirs? So yeah, right here, this is what we're talking about. Like, Thresh or someone go over to the sort of banana bush over here, get a ward down early. Okay. You see what was going on at the top side to begin with? That seemed really odd.
That was pretty weird, especially having the ADC on the other side of the map to put his ward down. Yeah.
If someone pings for an invade, you have to have everyone go in and all together. It doesn't work if you only have your 3 people. Oh, Ashe. You just needed to put down 1 attack to get that. But it's not a huge deal. They just wanted to know where they were. I think that they could have sat that ward in the death brush right there, or like even into the entrance of the wraiths. That way they don't have to worry about possible counter aggression coming down, but they still have any vision to let them know if they're going to get counter jungled.
Purple team used looks like 3 of their trinkets, and blue only used 2. One in the bush and 1 in the tri bush for some reason.
Yeah, but like we said before, you know, if you get stuff down at least before that 130 mark, you're going to have it up in time and lane for when you need it. But yeah, it looks like Amu was going to get his first blue. Yeah. Like any other jungler, I would say to start counter jungling, but playing Rammus, you have about as much clear potential as a Mumu. So yeah, best thing right now is just to try to farm up and then level 3 go in for a gank to try to offset the Mumu's potential early game. Okay. Watch down bottom lane for a minute. Starting items here. Oh wow, Ash going with the Brawler's gloves for a start to go with her passive. I don't know.
I'm not too sure about that.
Yeah, it doesn't help. It doesn't help you out in lane as much as you would think with that passive. I mean, honestly, by the time you're in lane, you already have that passive up, and it's not going to be since you're constantly auto attacking. Chances are, it's not going to be stacking all that much either. So a Doran's Blade for the extra sustain and life, and well, damage to help you with last hitting is going to be much more important.
Yeah, and you're increasing your crit, which doubles your attack damage, and you don't have any attack damage level 1, so.
Jeez, directed camera is jumping around everywhere.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Let's see.
Thresh went with the Relic Shield, and not a huge fan of that on Thresh.
Oh yeah?
Yeah,
you like the coin?
Yeah, you don't get the execute. It makes it quite a bit harder.
Yeah. I don't know. I prefer it. I don't get it first. I like to get like a ruby crystal into a sightstone right off the bat, and then get into whatever you want, depending on the team, whether it's a coin or the relic shield. I just prefer the relic shield because it makes you more of that tankier support. I've never really felt that great with the coin. Yeah, sure, you have that great Shirelles active, but you can no longer be the front line to engage. So we see Rammus coming out of the jungle, getting a taunt off, and Nivea is nowhere close to help follow up. She does end up getting the Q off, but yeah. I mean, Nivea, if you saw that coming in earlier, you could have gotten closer to get a couple extra auto attacks off or something, and possibly gotten the kill.
It's like Diana staying around.
And yeah, I mean, Nivea still got her heal up, and in a matchup like that, oh wow. And Nivea again, just and the counter gank comes in. That's what she was sticking around for. The heal bait comes out, that gets off. Amumu's still trying to, yeah. Okay.
Alright, Amumu got 2 summoners out of the counter gank. I'm okay waiting around for a counter gank, but it's really risky with that low health.
Okay. Thresh, you don't have to go in, especially this early when you don't have like a jungler coming in to help you get that advantage, so you know you'll be safe. You can just land your Q, and Jinx can follow up with her chain chompers. And it's okay to start doing like small trades like that. It's not always you have to go all the way in for a kill every time. Sometimes it's about getting that extra poke down to make the opposite lane feel uneasy, and then yeah, you have better. You're more able to CS because you're pushing them back. You deny CS in return.
And as far as Ashe goes, you on this lane you always want to be behind Braum and minions to make it a lot harder for Thresh.
Okay.
When you were under tower at that point, you didn't have very many minions, so it's kind of hard. But it's better to kind of move back and then have to move up for CS than it is to get hooked.
Okay. And Amumu did manage to get up here without being seen, but Mordekaiser's got to find a way. Oh, nope. It would have been better like if Mordekaiser found a way to bait Trundle into hitting him a couple times. Make it seem like you're out of position or something. Because yeah, just landing a Q from all the way there. I mean, Trundle was almost all the way to his tower right there, so there's no way you could have followed up with the kill, because Trundle's already got his ulti.
Yeah, you don't want to telegraph your ganks.
Okay, so they do blow flash bottom with just a hook landed.
We got first blood, maybe. Is Nivea gonna live? I just got a passive still.
Okay. So both junglers going the tanky route. No big surprise there, I suppose. Yeah.
Got a pretty big CS advantage on the purple side, bottom lane.
Okay. So looks like Amumu is going to be coming down here. Once again, you're not really in a position where you can gank. You got to be using your time in the jungle efficiently. So, I mean, yeah, because as soon as you come down there and they know you're there, you just put your lane on a timer to wait for a counter gank. You know, as soon as they know, as soon as you show, then oh wow, goes. He has Ghost.
Yeah.
What the hell? How did I not notice that?
First blood going to James.
Yeah.
The moon was taking too many tower shots.
That was just... Yeah. Well, apart from the Ghost, I mean... I really don't like Ghost on Amumu. I really don't.
Rammus, you came in way late. And...
he saves him! He saves him! Oh, God!
You got really lucky.
Yeah, so besides the Ghost on Amumu, when you went in under the tower, you had to notice that you already had 3 of Braum's stacks on you, so you were going to get stunned up under tower and taking more shots. At that point, you need to back out. With someone like Braum, you need to be watching where that passive indicator is.
And it's really hard to tower dive with Braum.
Yeah, once he gets his ulti and everything.
Especially before you get really tanky.
Yeah. Mr. Timo Cheese, which do you think is better, AP Amumu or tank? I think it really depends. In this situation, I think they do need to have an tanky Amumu. It's going to suit their team a lot better. But say they didn't have someone like Diana in the mid lane. Say they had someone more like a Nivea in the mid lane who relies more on AoE damage over time and less about like straight just in your face burst damage, or someone in the top lane that is a tankier person like Maokai, then you can start to go more towards an AP heavy route. It's all about having like a balanced team composition, and when you go focus too much into damage, then the enemy team can build tanky and they're going to be the ones to blow you up.
Yeah, it's definitely more about what your team needs.
I won't deny AP Amumu is fun.
Yeah, I generally prefer tanky Amumu, but I generally prefer to play tanks myself.
Okay.
We got Rammus trying to counter invade.
Yeah. They didn't have any wards up there to let them know, so I think he's just trying to go in and steal it. But once it when you're going to counter invade, like we said this before, there's a general rule of thumb where if you don't know where the enemy jungler is, don't worry about it. Wait till they show, then you can decide either I'm going to go into a lane and gank, or I'm going to go into their jungle or counter jungle them. And especially with someone with Rammus, you need to be going by that because you're not clearing those very fast. So if it turns out they have a ward in their jungle, you are going to get your butt kicked.
And you also have an issue with you don't have enough damage as Rammus, and you really don't have a good way out, especially not knowing where the enemy jungler is, where when their mid lane roams around, because you don't have any wards in there.
Yep. Okay. This is why I don't like to see the pink wards placed in the brush unless you have complete lane dominance, which in this case you don't, because you have an Ashe on the other team who has a static shiv and is going to be shoving the wave like none other. That pink ward's not going to stay around. You're not going to get your gold's worth. So yeah. Early game, you want to place a pink ward somewhere where you know you're going to be getting your gold out of it and it's going to stay up for a long time. So somewhere like the tri-bush behind you, or even at the your blue buff. And then later on you can get another one, because chances are that ward will be up for most of the game.
Right there, I would have liked to see Anivia stay on Amumu a little bit, because Ramos had him taunted under the tower, and Ramos was taking tower shots for nothing with Anivia backing off.
Yep. Okay, I like to see this dragon. I think they should have gone in earlier, but hey, they still have dominance down here to be able to pick it up.
That flash.
Okay, so they get 2 kills out of it.
That flash was wasted in the dragon pit. If you're not gonna flash over the back wall right there, there's really nothing to flash. I mean, you flashed to the other side of your players, which didn't really do a whole lot.
Yep. Good job by the red team. You know, you get some kills, you need to get something out of it as well, and getting that red buff definitely hurts Rammus's jungle time. Yeah.
At this point, you would like to see wards all over that red side jungle, since you know that you have control, which you're starting to see in there now.
The red side or the blue side?
The red side for blue team.
Okay. Yeah, well, not too sure if they have complete control. Like, top side, Trundle's forced into the tower most of the game. Nivea is going to be shoved in, and the only side that could possibly help out would be bottom with the Ashe. And especially when they just got in counter jungle, I'd like to see some, like, at least pink wards into their own jungle before they start thinking about going forward into the enemy jungle. This is a really interesting build from Diana, going armor and magic resist before picking up any damage.
Yeah, I mean, it's working for her, but...
Yeah, and just because something's working for you doesn't mean it's the most efficient build. Oh. Okay. I've seen you guys in the bottom lane comboing out that CC, your ults like that. Try to overlap them a little bit so you get the Braum ult off first, and then the Ashe ult, so that we are guaranteed to land both of them. This is why I don't like the Ghost again. You just... yeah, it's just silly. Like, it's much more unexpected when you get like a flash ult from a Mumu rather than a ghost ult. You'll see it coming every time, and here he's just going way too deep again, and goes bye-bye.
Yeah, you chased a long time. I mean, kills are nice and all, but at some points you just need to let them go.
Yeah, this game really should be playing. You should be playing to stay alive instead of to get kills, as a general rule. Because, like, even in that situation, if you didn't get the kill, you got Mordekaiser to back, and in that way, Trundle. You got Trundle to back, and then Mordekaiser can push up to the tower, and that's an advantage of itself. You know, that you didn't have to sacrifice anything for.
And you got Trundle's flash, and to get the kill, you use your flash. I believe you used an ignite. I mean, you used a lot of stuff there to get one kill.
Yeah. Amumu, go ahead, finish your spirit item before you start going towards anything else. Oh, jeez. Yeah, that was good until Jinx decided to go back in.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of the Leandri's rush onto Mordekaiser. I think, yeah, it's something he's gonna want to pick up later into the game.
Yeah, I'm not real familiar with the Mordekaiser build path.
A lot of times you see him get like an early Hextech Revolver, just for sustain in lane, and you know, like maybe even a Death Cap.
All right, with Mordekaiser showing bottom without teleport, I'd like to see Trundle either teleport down or just push that tower, because Trundle's
push top.
Trundle's going to get the tower before Mordekaiser can get back.
Hey, Blown, thanks for joining the channel. If you want us to spectate your games, come into the Trinity Force podcast in-game chat channel. It's T-Force. We'll be starting up another game in Bronze Boot Camp after this, and we can spectate your games. But if you're looking to someone to sort of like coach you along the side, our normal other caster is Seagrove. You can message him at SeagroveLol on Twitter, and he'll be happy to help you out. Okay, you want to talk a little about that dive down bottom? I was talking. I didn't really see too much of it.
Yeah, purple team was just outmanned. That was a point where blue team should have just gave up the tower. And you know, sometimes that's the thing to do. It doesn't always feel like it, but you know, sometimes not getting a tower is better than, or letting a tower fall is better than keeping it up, or trying to keep it up, because you're not going to. Well, there's more people there than you have. That's a good roam down by Nivea.
Yeah.
There's a lot of red team getting greedy.
Yeah. No, that situation would have been better for them to just get the tower and then back, because hey, now Dragon's up and they have no way to control it.
Yeah.
And like they shouldn't even be trying to go for this tower. Just get Dragon. You got control over it.
Rammus sees that low health and wants to dive, which, I mean, he's got the kill, but he's also low health, and
now the rest of their team is all the way back up.
Yeah, and they could have got Dragon, and then still put pressure on the tower.
And yeah, this is dangerous. Blue team just pinged on a Dragon. And you got to be aware of those death timers. Yes, you killed them, but now they're all the way back up. It's only 19 minutes into the game. Death timers aren't that long, and you see they have a ward on it now. So, yeah, you're putting yourself in a bad... Sorry. You're putting yourself into a bad situation going into this game, into these situations.
Yeah, it would have been much better for you to just go earlier and not worry about that tower yet.
What the hell?
I don't know what that flash was.
That was the weirdest flash I've seen in a while. I don't know if it was just like a sort of like, oh shit flash or something.
He said he thought F was his heal.
Oh, whoops. Yeah. Hey, yeah, if you're Bronze 4, we're going to try to fill up the game with Bronze first, but then if we got spots left over, you're more than welcome to join. Just join the in-game chat channel T-Force, and we'll let you know when we got another game going on. Bloodthirster as a second item for Ashe.
Russian Static Shiv, you really want to get that Infinity Edge, because there's so much more damage there, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah, when you start specializing into crit that early in the game, you kind of committed to getting an Infinity Edge as the next item.
Yeah, I don't hate Bloodthirster as opposed to Bork on him, but at the same time, it's not really an early item.
Yeah, this is where we talked about before. Red team had just a better AoE team fight.
Yeah, the only thing is they focused down, like their first two deaths were Braum and Rammus. Or if they went for Ashe, they would have. I mean, they killed Ashe too, but it would have been a faster fight and a safer fight.
Okay, so yeah, they don't have a teleport, so they can't go up top to help that wave.
Ward coverage in this game is not very good.
It's not bad for red team, but If you're in the situation that blue team's in right now, you have to take a step back and say, okay, guys, we can't win these 5v5 fights anymore, so what we need to do is look for some picks. And you need the first step to getting picks is setting out wards, whether it's in your jungle, probably your jungle at this point since they have an advantage.
Yeah, you definitely need to have wards in your jungle, especially whenever you know your buffs are coming up. You need to all go together and put wards down, and that's the biggest thing is doing it together.
I mean, you have that Anivia to help you seal off like one person.
Yeah, blue team's just getting called out right now. And they saw Rammus die to Diana in there, and then 2 people went in. And, you know, red team can see that same fight.
Yeah.
So, you know, they can just kind of imagine, hey, they're going to try to go kill Diana, and then they're going to roam over there as a team.
Okay, so red team gets the inhibitor. Oh, wow, yeah. Good luck for them. They've already got the minion wave pushing up there, so they should be able to get a second inhibitor off of this.
Yeah, they're really doing very well, pushing their advantage.
Yeah, when you start to get like an advantage like this, you have to make sure you're pushing your other lanes as well. So situations like this can occur, where you can... it's all about like... you can rotate out to the next target.
And so you're not, hey, let's all 5 push mid over and over and over, like every bronze game.
That Ash arrow, man.
Yeah, Mordekaiser was sitting on a ward, and Ash caught him with an arrow. Mordekaiser. And Mordekaiser has a sweeper, so like if you're going back and you're in their jungle, you always wanna use a sleeper if you're sitting in a bush to see if they can see you before you go, especially with a global ult.
Okay, so at this point, Diana is upgraded to her hourglass and the abyssal scepter. But problem is they have 2 abyssal scepters on their team.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Yeah, before you start that Baron, make sure you have more wards in the area. Like a couple wards leading out to it in the brushes. So you can get a pick off before they even have to start. And once Ash, yeah, did she have her? Okay, Hawkshot was down. So if you're in a situation like that, wait till Hawkshot's back up so you can get a glance at the rest of the team.
Braum did stand behind me on Anivia's egg with 3 people there. You should have just ran, like. And it's not a good chance that you would be able to hold them off at base. You probably wouldn't, but
yeah, and that'll probably be game here.
Yeah. And there's nothing you can do there, Trundle. Not necessarily.
Might as well go out in a blaze of glory.
Yeah. Some people see it that way. I'm just, in ranked games, just like, yeah, I'm not putting another death on my KDA.
Alright, good game. We'll get another one started up here pretty soon. Oh, I forgot to mention, guys, in-game, if you do have like a DC or you need to pause for a second, we do these as tournament drafts, so all you need to do is type /pause in the game to send out a pause. Alright, lobby for game 2 is up. Start putting out invites.
Um, just looking over the builds real quick for that last game. Anivia didn't go tier, which I see a lot on Anivia's. Yeah, he went Roa, but whenever I've played Anivia, I've usually played with both Roa and a tier. I may be doing something wrong there though.
It's, I think, personal preference. If you know you can stall out for that long, go ahead, do that. But in a game where a team is starting to already get a lead by that 10-minute mark where you may not have gotten tier yet, just forego it. Because you need that a little bit more AP to offset their early game advantage. Filling up fast this morning. I like it.
Yeah, there were the supports in that last game. One of them warded 14 times, the other one warded 9.
Only 14?
Mm-hmm. Braun warded 14 times, and he was on a losing team.
Yeah, for a support, 14 wards is not enough.
Yeah. I'm usually between 30 and 40 every game.
There was an interesting site that was posted on Reddit where you can check how many wards, like the percentage, what percentile you fall into.
Yeah, it's a ward score.
Alright, here we go. Guys, this is game 2 of Bronze Boot Camp. Thanks for joining us this morning. We are a part of the Trinity Force Network. If you want to find out more of them, head over to www.trinityforcepodcast.com. You can check out all their different podcasts there, including the podcast proper, the Oz LOL podcast, which focuses on the Oceania scene, and the LCS Rundown, which focuses mainly on, obviously the LCS. Are they still going right now, or is this kind of like a lull, or are they doing like hot stove stuff?
They're still going. They're just kind of, doing rumors and stuff right now.
Yeah. Okay. We'll see if we have time for a third game here. It's only what? Yeah, it's only noon. So we probably will get a third game going. But also on the site there you can find out all the information you need to know about Bronze Boot Camp, as well as the other battle arenas, times, places, servers. All that'll be up there. So go ahead, check it out. I guarantee you can. If you're looking to improve your game, you can find something that you like there. And don't forget, we will be starting to do our RP rewards for Bronze Boot Camp and Battle Arenas in the coming weeks here. So stay tuned. Listen to the podcast to find out when we're going to be starting that. All right, picking bands coming in. Blue team, Morgana, Thresh, and Illusion. Definitely focusing on those support bands.
Yeah, I don't mind any of the bands in this game. Like I said last game, there's not really any like must ban champions, so just the champions you don't really want to play with. Morgana's got the bonding that lasts like an
3
hour.
seconds.
And, then her shield can really be devastating if it blocks the wrong ability for you. Thresh's hitbox is like 10 times wider than his hook. And then Lucian, he could be banning that away from his own team as well, because he's one of those champions that, if he's played right, he's a huge bully in lane, and he can get really scary, and then somebody else see that and try to do that and really fall on their face to do it. And that's the same with the Yasuo ban on the other team. Is he's not as strong right now after their nerfs, but he can snowball.
Yeah, it's all about if you know how to play him.
And especially in a bronze level, you don't have a whole lot of people that can play him 100% properly, and they're either going to feed or they're going to do good. And I'd rather take the chances that my team's going to feed and ban him out than.
Yeah. It's all about like picking something that you know personally how to play well, I think.
And then the Amumu ban, that's another one. I'm going to take this away from their team because I don't want my team to not be able to group, or I don't want to trust my team to stay spread out.
Well, to be fair, it's also really strong as far as CC provided in a team fight.
It is. And then with Maokai, even if he loses in lane, he's strong.
Yeah. Faux show there. First pick for the blue team was Caitlyn. I like it as a pick, especially in the bronze and silver area, where getting that early lead, especially in lane, where you should definitely be getting that as Caitlyn. That's like the number one reason why you pick Caitlyn, is to get a lead in lane. Can really snowball for your whole team in general. So with that, I like to see any sort of supports that can help with disengage or sustain or poke, but not usually like a divey sort of support like Leona. So someone like Sona or Janna.
Yeah, Sona's really nice with Caitlyn, with the poke. Karma's not bad, but I like the sustain from Sona, or even a Nami. Would
Yeah.
go really well with her.
Oh yeah, that Tide Color's Blessing plus like a headshot. That really hurts. And we did see Nami hover over with Emperor Pigeon.
Yeah. With Searing Darkness first picking Fizz, I don't really like that move. I would rather him ask his team who they want to pick, especially ADC, because they had already locked in Caitlyn over there.
Mm-hmm.
So you say, hey, can I pick your ADC? Do you have Fizz? Or hey, can I pick your support? Because supports can get countered, but it's a lot easier to beat your counter as support than it is anywhere else, because your job as a support is to keep everybody safe. And one of the players that whenever the enemy team picks Morgana, I pick Braum.
Mm-hmm.
And Morgana counters Braum, but I can keep my team safe with Braum from the Morgana. So
yeah, and I think that comes back to some comfort picks where you're able to play them well. You know the matchups that you're going into, because even if you if it's supposed to be a counter, if you're able to play that champion well enough, you can usually still win the lane, because your champion knowledge is much better.
And we have a Ezreal Janna lane in the bottom. It's just kind of weird, because Ezreal wants to be kind of aggressive and pokey, and Janna can be aggressive, but she's more sustain and control in lane, and Ezreal, he likes to.
It's a really safe lane, which is nice. But it kind of leaves their team lacking for CC in general, I think.
Yeah, their team is pretty low on CC. I mean, you got Fizz that doesn't bring it, just a small knock-up on his ult. You have Shin's taunt. You have a slow from Kha'Zix, and a knock-up from Janna and a slow from Janna.
Mm-hmm. The Janna ult is a good counter to Diana, at least.
Yeah, and Aatrox. Because Aatrox is going to try to jump in on you as well.
Mm-hmm. But like, Ezreal's going to be able to get away on himself. He doesn't really need the Janna to help him out. Where like Janna with someone like Tristana or Jinx, where they don't have that innate escape built in to quickly get away. Janna's Monsoon helps them stay safe in team fights and prioritizes the AD carry as the center of damage.
Now we've got a Shin versus Trundle matchup in the top lane, which is going to be interesting, because Shin's like my favorite champion. Okay,
so what do you normally do on Shin nowadays?
A Well, Sunfire Cape is a must on Shin. Just helps your wave clear a lot. Um,
Okay.
I really like Wit's End on him. The extra damage from your passive on him, plus the bonus on hit damage from Wit's End. It does some sneaky damage on Shin. But going into this team that you're playing against, they don't have a whole lot of magic damage, so um, that would be a later buy.
Uh huh.
Um, I'd probably start something like I'd probably go Relic Shield, not Relic Shield.
Doran Shield.
To start, and then just start building into your Sunfire there.
Yeah, getting tanky early in this lane I think is going to help him out against Trundle, because the more he builds health, the more he's going to be able to sustain with his own Q to match that sustain coming out from Trundle's passive.
Yeah, it's probably going to be a pretty boring top lane. I mean, just whoever starts the fight is going to have the upper hand. But both both of them have an easy way to get out of a fight pretty quickly. Trundle can drop his pillar and his frozen domain and run away, and Shin could taunt out or just run away, really.
Yeah. You're talking about a Sunfire Cape. How would you feel about something like a Banshee's Veil instead? Or a Frozen... probably Banshee's Veil. Because I'm looking at their team. They have Trundle, they have Aatrox, they have Caitlyn, they have Diana. All do need some attack speed. And, either Banshees or Frozen Heart will be able to decrease their damage output by decreasing their attack speed.
Frozen Heart wouldn't be a bad pickup later on.
Except for the mana.
Yeah. I'd rather see that, honestly, on Janna.
Frozen Heart?
Yes. She benefits from the CDR. She benefits from the mana. She benefits from the armor. And she's going to be there with the team fights every time. Shin's going to be split pushing in, ulting in, or Shin split pushing and teleporting in. So
yeah, I meant Randuin's, not Banshees.
Yeah, I figured you did. You meant something else, but Randuin's wouldn't be bad. But you still want Sunfire in lane because it helps your farm.
All right. I don't necessarily think that a Frozen Heart will be great on Janna, because it only has, the passive only has a range of 1,000 units, and if you are getting in that range with the team like Trundle, Aatrox, and the rest that can dive on your face, you're going to die anyways. So yes, you're getting a little extra armor, but you don't have the health to back it up. I especially on Janna, I really like getting what's that new item that no one picks up on support?
Ardent Sensor.
Yeah, love that item on Janna.
It's not bad.
Not necessarily with this AD carry like Ezreal.
Yeah. Especially like if you're really close to getting that last Nexus turret and your whole team's there and their whole team's spawning up, and your team's like even just like a quarter health down, you can pop your ult. Everybody has the attack speed buff. You knock that turret down real quick, and either you disengage there or get some damage on the Nexus, or you can start that fight because your team is back at full health. But talking about summoners real quick, purple team doesn't have a smite.
Yeah, I just realized that. I don't know if that was a mistake or what.
And not a huge fan of Ignite on supports. That's my personal preference. I know we see LCS players do it sometimes. And I could see it being okay against a sustain lane. But Janna's not so much a sustain support. She has the heal from her ult and she has her shield, but I really wouldn't say that shield is sustain. It's preventative damage.
Well, I don't mind it on Nami because you're already getting a slow and 2 knockups into your kit.
It's not so much about the slow.
Is a damage reduction?
It's the damage reduction, and a lot of times I'll use exhaust, even if I like my team, like even if my team's ahead, or if I just need to secure a kill to help my ADC get the kill. Like if he's fell behind or something, I'll throw my exhaust on so that my ADC can get the kill while they're running away. So um, it's not always about the slow. I don't
Yeah,
always,
but the kill pressure that Ignite provide, like I I don't necessarily mind it for that if you know you're going to be able to be aggressive with your bot lane. But it's personal preference at this point. Yeah, I think exhaust would be more effective, especially going later into the game. Infinitely better than Ignite. Okay, Aatrox in the jungle.
especially going against a Fizz that's going to want to roam and a Kha'Zix that's going to be trying to come out of the jungle. Like those two is really nice to have exhaust for,
Mm-hmm.
because they're both of them are gonna not, they're gonna have a pretty easy time.
Oh, geez, Nami. It fails the fly. Oh, what? Oh, man. I'm not too sure what Nami was thinking.
I don't know either. I would have, honestly, I would have liked to see like a 5-man invade on blue, because they don't have a smite, they can't do anything, or even the late invade.
Yeah. I understand you're trying to get a ward, and you don't need to get it that deep in here. Like, there's nothing you're getting out of putting it right there that you wouldn't have already gotten by putting, like, even, from the brush.
Is red team looking to invade without smite?
They better. Especially now without Shen.
Yeah, your early wards really need to be just at river level. I mean, I know a lot of people get in the habit of trying to do what the LCS players do, and they all group up and go in and ward deep. But to be honest with yourself, you're not doing anything with the information you're getting from that deep ward.
Yeah. Oh, starting Shadow Dash first. Okay.
Yeah, I started Shadow Dash first against a Rumble lane not too long ago, and I think it was Bronze Boot Camp, and it was such an annoying lane because I couldn't really do anything early.
Yeah. Shadow Dash is good as a level 2 because at that point you may have like a minion wave pushing with you, and that's really strong with Shen because you can force them to attack and they're taking all that minion aggro then.
Yeah, he's missing that sustain right now.
Yeah, he's still level 1, so yeah, not getting that Q definitely hurting him. Hey, did Diana not die? Holy crap, she didn't die. I thought for sure she was dead.
And Shin, what you want to be doing right now is you want to try to be like, you don't want to do that.
Yeah.
He's got you under your tower, and he's gonna hurt you.
Yeah.
A lot of people say don't last hit with your Q, but you still get a little bit of health from doing that.
Yeah.
So
if you can avoid it, don't use your Q to last hit.
If you're gonna stick around right now, you have to last hit with your Q, because you're not gonna be able to do any damage.
I'll say good job here for not going in, Shen. There was too high of a chance you were going to die, so yeah, just let Kha'Zix pick it up.
Yeah. I don't know. I might would have got a little ballsy there and got close. That way, whenever Trundle was a little bit,
see if you can get the Q to get the assist.
Yeah, a little bit low, you could maybe taunt and Q, but you would have had to time it right so you didn't die as well. But
Yeah, we've talked about this before. Playing Janna, you don't necessarily have to use your shield as a defensive mechanic. You can use it offensively too to give your AD carry a little bit more attack damage, especially Ezreal, to get some Qs off onto them.
And you're using Tornado way too much.
Mm-hmm.
You use Tornado. You can do it to engage a fight. Which, with the engage, you don't let it cast the whole way, and you can use it as a deterrent. And you don't always shoot it straight, like the way you're facing. You can shoot it to the side, to kind of wall off an entrance to the jungle or an exit path.
Okay, Caitlyn, you really should be working to stay together with your Nami, so that way when she does land a bubble like the one she just did, you can immediately follow up with an auto Q. I'm surprised this Kha'Zix jungle is working out so well without the smite.
I know I've played with Jaedong before. He's really good on Kha'Zix, but it's not like it's a bad clear or anything without the smite. It's up to the other team to make it bad without the smite. He needs to spend a little more time counter jungling. He needs to know where Kha'Zix is and counter jungle him, because that can really hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Really hurt him without a smite.
Yeah. I see there's a lot of people engaging that have like Aatrox there. You either want to use your Q to get in immediately, or wait until Shen blows his Shadow Taunt to get away. You don't want to wait until in between, or because you either get it off early and he blows it, or you hit it and then you have some room to chase. But if you blow it too late, then yeah, he's already back at turret. Okay. Okay. Aatrox going Pharaoh Flare around in the jungle. I guess that's pretty common for Aatrox jungle.
I wouldn't think it'd be common.
Well, as far as jungle items that he would get,
I would probably go the Elder Lizard, but I like to gank a lot whenever I jungle.
Mm-hmm.
I could see it not being bad though, because he does have the lifesteal from his W.
Mm-hmm.
Blue
he's
team
just so auto attack heavy, you know.
Right here, blue team is pushed up kind of far without having wards in the river.
Oh, doesn't land. So close. That's fine. You got the flash out, so now you can count that as a successful gank.
Yeah, it's really good that you didn't stick around after that. A lot of people will, okay, well, we got their flash, but I'm still going to stay around and try to push them under tower, and then eventually try to dive them under tower. Alright, Shin's ulting in. Yeah.
Okay, go get dragon.
Yeah.
Get dragon. You can do it.
You dragon off that. They don't. I mean, especially since you don't have a smite, you need their Aatrox dead to dragon.
Yeah.
And he's dead. You just killed him.
Especially if Shen sticks around, you've got plenty of sustain off the dragon then.
Yeah. Shen used his ult to get down, so he had teleport to get back into.
Yeah. Oh well.
And then, not only that, your bottom lane was pushed up, so they could have easily went down there, and if their bottom team had come down, then you were gonna beat them too. See Kha'Zix counter jungling without smite. I mean, you did know that Aatrox was dead, so it's not not a bad thing. You, um,
Mhm.
you need to ping your ganks, and you need to follow your pings a little better. And you don't need to rely on pings to know that your gank's coming.
Yeah, I mean, it's partly on both of them
Yeah,
at this point. But yeah, if you're paying attention to the minimap, you should know that your jungler is coming in to get a gank, and you should try to be in position. Oh, jeez. You should just be able to get that kill, anyways.
yeah.
Buff transfer complete.
Yeah. At that point, the flash was wasted. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
if you're gonna die, just die. It's hard to get out of that habit, especially whenever you're going to get somebody like Diana, because a lot of mid laners you might would have been able to get away with that flash, but Diana's got that gap closed and you're not getting away.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, man, that just staying off of auto attacking Qs is just crazy from Shen.
Yeah.
Can't outdo Trundle though with his ult on.
A lot of the issue in the last fight with the sustain was Shen had minions on his side, and then the second fight it was the other way around.
Yeah, okay. You could have launched that off a lot sooner, Ezreal, and then you would have been in a better position to just get away.
Yeah, and you also... That's not a good engagement.
We'll get that one in return.
Look at the kill out of it, so...
Yeah.
It's not terrible. You are winning lane.
Marginally.
Yeah, not by a lot, but you got a kill and 2 assists on him to his 1 kill. And 3 CS also.
Oh, man. Atrax, you got no one to help, man. And that's kind of on your team at that point. Because, yeah, you already forced Ezreal back. It's a good time to go to Dragon. You called it, but no one was following.
You have to ping it, but you can't just go when you ping it. You have to have your team there, too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you had the ping quarter down, and you knew it wasn't warded, but you also didn't have any help killing it, and you can't solo a dragon. It's not impossible to solo a dragon, but it's not smart.
Mm-hmm. It's Shen, you have to be aware of like how much, when you're using Shadow Dash, how much energy that takes.
Yeah, it takes quite a bit.
Yeah, it takes half, I think, 100.
Yeah, I don't like using it as an escape. I will, but it's not my favorite thing to do. At this point, it's once you have your Sunfire Cape, it is kind of hard to push the tower, especially with them around, because you're going to take the damage from the tower because you're going to hurt them with your Sunfire Cape. So letting them push out is not a bad thing. At this point, I would maybe try to push them into tower again, and then go get golems and let their lane reset.
Yeah, but just wait till you can get a good ulti off on the other lanes. Like right now, down bottom.
Alright. Kha'Zix pinged that he's coming.
Oh, Shen's backing off.
You want to ping more than once. I mean, once should be enough with him knowing that you're coming.
Mm-hmm.
But you still want to ping more than one time.
Is this the same Diana from last game?
It is.
Okay. And this is where your build is definitely hurting you a lot. You did the same thing last game and it worked out all right because you were winning, but now in a situation where you're facing another assassin, that Seeker's On Guard is doing nothing for you. Absolutely nothing. And you're still building into more another cloth armor.
Yeah, you're going against an AP assassin. I mean, if you were going against a Zed or a Talon, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, no, in a situation like that, that'd be a great item. But here, it's just that. What are you doing? Go ahead, like Athene's would be a good item in this situation. If you're still going even, I would still be fine with getting the Negatron cloak into Abyssal Scepter. Yeah. Okay.
What about like a Roa on Diana just to get a little tanky? Yeah. It seems like every time I build or I play against the Diana, she's always like the tankiest person on the team. You can't kill her.
Yeah, Roa's situation, like any day of the week you can build Athenes and it'll still be fine. Roa, if you're not ahead and you're not able to complete it by like 15 to 16 minutes, it's putting your team in a bad spot because now you're waiting for that power spike that you normally have as Diana with a little bit of AP in the mid game.
Okay.
Try to stick some of these trades out, Shen. If you can force him to use his ult and then back off, you're putting yourself in a good spot to then counter-engage. Because now that you have your main item, and Trundle doesn't have like one major item completed, you're in a good spot. You know, you got it canceled.
Yeah, you don't want to dive between towers.
Yeah. If Shen could have made it in there, I think it could have made a difference and they could have gotten out all right, but yeah.
Yeah, you've got to know what towers you have available and down. Flash with flash in the top lane.
I don't think Shen needed a flash there.
I don't think he did either, but...
Okay, what do you think of Hydra on Jax for the extra split push? In most situations, I would tell you not to do it. You don't need it, honestly.
Jax has a pretty fast split push anyway.
Yeah, once because your two main items, Blade of the Ruined King and Trinity Force, with that extra attack speed, you're able to push minions. You can two like 2 to 3 hit minions, depending on what you get your passive onto. So yeah, unless you're feeling really confident and really ahead anyways, it's not worth it to pick up. The extra attack speed and damage you're getting out of Blade of the Ruined King, along with the active, is much more effective on Jax, especially because you should be, on top of being a great split pusher, you're great in team fights too, to deal just tons of damage, and Blade of the Ruined King is going to outtrade a Hydra on him any day of the week.
I'm not sure what Shen's wanting to do with that Vamp Scepter.
Blade of the Ruined King, I think.
I would much rather see a Hydra for split pushing.
No, he's already got all he needs to split push at this point. It's Sunfire Cape. You shouldn't be building more to split push.
I build Hydra whenever I play split push Shen, but I build it at like my 6th item, and I just build straight tank until it's time to build my split push. Well, you forced his flash. Or his smite. It's not dragon's yours.
Yeah. Okay, blue team, red team should not be the ones getting the dragons in this situation. They're not the one with the smite. If you guys are playing this a little bit smarter and you're able to group up, prep your dragon area with some good wards, there's no reason why the red team should be the one getting the dragons.
Yeah, not at all. Um, I've had games where I've accidentally not taken smite before,
Hmm.
and you get punished for it.
Yeah.
Like you have you have to ward the jungle. You have to like as soon as you know where they are, you go into the other side of the jungle and you ward it up, and you take whatever camps you can until they're getting close, and then you get out of there, and then you go do the same to the other side. And like a lot of times, whenever I've forgotten to take smite before, the enemy junglers spent more time in my jungle than they did in theirs,
Hmm.
and you can't do anything about it at that point because you're behind in experience and level, so you can't duel them in your own jungle, and you can't get past them to get to their jungle.
Okay, Hydra or Blade of the Ruin King first item on Zed? What do you think?
Um, I'm not much of a assassin player, so I really don't know. I think I've usually seen Blade and Yomu's before
Hmm.
the Hydra built. No.
Yeah. And there's a good reason for that. When you get the well, at least Cutlass first, you're getting yourself a little extra damage for your ulti, as well as a slow to help get in some more better, like some better Qs. But yeah, going in right into Yomu's at that point, it's a cheap item compared to Hydra, which is 3,600 gold total. And yeah, you do get that Hydra active to give you like another auto attack basically for your ulti. So I can see why. Yeah, Blade has been nerfed for its active, so it doesn't make it as good on Zed, but it's still better for split pushing on him. It's still better for dueling.
I don't know that the nerf hurt Zed.
It did, because they decreased the active damage from 15 to 10% of life.
They decreased the active, but they increased the.
Yeah, but that's not the part that you're getting it on Zed. You're getting it to get that extra little burst of damage that factors into your ult.
Yeah, but do you not get that from the extra auto attacks you're getting off too?
Not in it's still a nerf, totally. Carl, if you're looking to join the games, we're going to get another one going here. Join the in-game chat channel in the client T-Force, and we'll post when we got another lobby going.
This Fizz is just doing whatever he wants.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I mean, when he's got as much gold as he's got at this point, he can just dive on 1v3 and get out alive. On the other hand, Ezreal at 3-1 with a first item IE cannot. I like the choice to go for more of just like a traditional AD carry in this route. When you have a Janna on your team, you're looking for more consistent damage. That's fine.
It's like Shin's trying to go into a Trinity Force. I wouldn't have built the Mana Crystal out. Like, it's not a bad item on Shin.
Mana Crystal?
No, the Trinity Force, but the Sheen part, the mana from the Sheen part is pretty useless on Shin.
Just pretty useless.
Yeah, it's exact. You know, there's no use to it. But I wouldn't have built the mana crystal part of it.
Yeah,
I would have waited until. In fact, I would have went Phage and.
What? That's Shenol, man.
You.
It's a little. You killed Kha'Zix, man. You killed him. Overall, I would have liked to see a more just tankier Shen. If you want to go a second damage add-on, yeah, like you were saying before, from the Wit's End, I think that's a great item on him because it's still giving us some defensive stats, even though it's a great offensive item for him as well.
Yeah, it's huge with your passive.
Mm-hmm.
You get bonus damage from your passive because you're going to get more auto attacks off, and your passive is going to proc more, and then you're getting the extra on-hit damage from the Wit's End, and then just the extra damage from auto attacks.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it's a scary Fizz now.
Yeah, he's usually banned in Bronze Boot Camp.
Yeah, I don't mind that at all. God, I hate his playful trickster. Yeah. It's more annoying than Vlad's troll pool. Okay, let's see. Alright, Janna building towards the Mikhail's. Good. Nami has just been way too far behind to really do too much.
Yeah, I really don't know what else she'd be able to do. At this point, I don't know that I would hate Janna going the Korean route and getting a Magi. She's 0-13. She's playing really safe, and she's gonna stack it. There's another dragon for the smiteless Kazakhs.
Yeah. Yeah, guys on the blue team, please go back and watch this game. I think you'll find there's a lot of early game mistakes that you guys made that really cost the game, and it all had to do with allowing Kazakhs to get away with not having smite.
Yeah, and I don't. Blue team really wouldn't have been able to contest the dragon too much, but
well, it all comes from being able to set it up early.
Yeah.
Boy.
I mean, there's no reason Kazakh should be 10-3 right now.
Mm-hmm. Man. So at this point in the game, wow! Oh, I just know red team doesn't have like they have not been warding at all. And when you've gotten this much of a lead, yeah, you need to be warding up the enemy jungle.
Yeah, warding is really important when you're behind. It's even more important when you're ahead to push your lead.
Mm-hmm. Aatrox just killed his whole team.
Yeah, Blue, you don't want to engage fights.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good ult by Shin.
He could have just stepped in front of it too,
Yeah.
and not used his ult.
But, you know, what else is he gonna use ult for?
Yeah, that's true. It's there's no Twitch to get like the submarine going. And I would pick Shen top just if they had like an Evelyn in the jungle or something like that.
Yeah.
The submarine be crazy.
Yeah, those are really scary. I like to play Shin when my friend plays Udyr, because a lot of people try to, like, they see Udyr coming and they try to go at him because they know that he can't really do anything.
What? They know Udyr can't do anything?
Well, they know they can, you know, stun him and stop him.
Yeah.
Depending on who they have, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But to have Udyr coming out with bear stance and a Shin ult on him.
Yeah. Let's see. Shen will be able to go back now and get his Trinity Force. It's definitely a fun item on him. A lot of picked up pretty often actually as an offensive item.
Yeah, the only part about it that I'm not a big fan of is the fact that it's, yeah, you needed to get out of there.
Yeah, like Fizz has been doing that the whole game. You know he's gonna keep doing it.
Yeah. Not only do you know he's gonna keep doing it, you know that you can't do anything about it.
Mm-hmm. Well, unless you buy Zhonya's as Caitlyn. Or
Yeah,
GA. Probably GA. And yeah, Fizz is just kind of running away with the game, in part because I think that early Seeker's Arm Guard allowed him to keep getting kills.
Yeah.
Alright, yeah. Guys, keep warding up the jungle. Blue team, you're doing a great job of like keeping your own jungle safe. You just haven't been able to capitalize on that. It's all about waiting until you find 1 or 2 targets and then collapsing onto them. Instead, you've just kind of been standing around and waiting. Okay, should we go in now? Should we go? I see him. Should we go in? But yeah.
Trundle is still building offensively.
Mm-hmm.
You really want to go defense.
Yeah, and at this point, like,
whenever team gets behind,
you could have already completed your Blade of the Ruined King, which would have been more effective than the Phage and all these like half items that you have. And Caitlyn going for Blade of the Ruined King now? No. I see it built so often. I just had to ask why. Like, getting it. See there, that's a great pick. You did a great job, blue team. But yeah, Blade of the Ruined King. Who are you getting it for on their team? Shen. He's still building more offensively, so you're not getting as much use out of the passive damage onto it. You're much better off getting attack speed to combo with the crit that you're already getting from IE, like a static shiv.
Trundle, the sweeper wasn't a bad call, but you need to communicate with your team that you're going to go sweep and take somebody with some range, like take Caitlyn over there with you, so they can't do that to you.
Yeah.
They hit the Baron and took you to half health, and if Fizz wanted to, he could have jumped over the wall and killed you. Because he's so far ahead that whatever he wants to do, he's going to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, looking at their priority targets on the purple team, you need like most of your team there and available to go in at the same time to take one down.
Yeah, with the, I mean, what we were talking about with the Phage and the Zeal, you could have got a Giant's belt and a chainmail.
Mm-hmm. You got a Giant's belt and belt and a oh geez, what's that other? Yeah, Warden's Mill. See, you know your items. That's why you're here.
Yeah, I was thinking the price was wrong. I was thinking of the wrong price for Zeal. I had it at 700 for some reason.
That's the cost for like the one of the components plus the items.
Yeah, after you have the one of the components.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, yeah, Caitlyn, you're just kind of building all over the place now. Like, I understand you want to go into. I'm not sure what you're trying to go into. Well, like
going against Fizz, it wouldn't have been a bad idea to get QSS early. And you can get out of the fish, and you can build that into the Mercurial Scepter.
Yeah. But at this point, I think it would have been better to make that into a Guardian Angel, if you already had like a Zeal item. You know, because IE isn't that great on its own, and if you're putting that much money into a GA before you start getting damage, it's not worth it because you're not worth anything to your team alive.
Yeah.
You have to be worth something to get the GA. You know, it's only for champions.
Yeah. You, as blue team at this point in the game, you don't have a great chance of winning, but you don't want to be alone anywhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just like this, you're just now just giving up free kills. Yeah, like if you're Caitlyn right now, go ahead, try to farm up side lanes, because you're not worth a whole lot to your team.
Yeah, I would like to see, like right there, Shin could have tanked that turret and they could have taken it down.
Mm-hmm.
They're not, they have a huge advantage. They're not pushing on it.
Yeah, wow, see, Trundle, like, when you don't get any defense, that's how fast, like, even an 4 and 2 Ezreal can chunk you. Doesn't feel so good, does it?
And they're starting to push their advantage a little bit, but the top tower right now. Caitlyn walked up and they all backed off, and Shin could have been under the tower, and if he would have landed a taunt on Caitlyn, then Caitlyn died.
Yeah. Like, I get that you're getting Caitlyn, I get that you're getting that Negatron to deal with Fizz, but at this point, the Negatron's not going to make a difference. He's so far ahead that a little extra magic resist isn't going to make that difference. It'll be better if for you to get some damage behind your IE, because at that point, with the Negatron plus not getting the Fear upgrade, that's enough to get a whole Zeal, which would have been much better.
Yeah, like I said, early in the game, I would have liked to see the QSS after Fizz got a couple kills. And because after Fizz gets a couple kills, he's going to be all over the map. And as an ADC, you know that he wants you.
Yeah, look at how little damage that's doing now for Caitlyn.
And Fizz is caught out here, but see, Aatrox had the right idea with the build path. Aatrox even really doesn't do all that well with tank. Like he needs to be more bruisery, but he was behind, his team was behind, so he built tank. Trundle went the opposite way, and he just stuck with his build path. Shin's gonna get caught out here.
Oh. Yeah, you can't shadow taunt over walls like that. Those are reserved only for Flash.
You can shadow taunt over walls.
Yeah, not that one though.
No, I've shadow taunted straight into that wall several times.
Yeah. What do you? It's a good job. Oh, they're able to get so many picks right now. Keep going, keep chasing them. Go, go, go! This is your only chance.
Yeah, I don't know what Kha'Zix was doing there.
Oh my god. Yeah, you want to tell me that Negatron cloak would have helped now? Look,
he had a full
he had
item.
That does friggin' nothing. That's why I don't like the Negatron cloak right there. Even with 20% damage reduction on the magic damage, he can still 100 to 0 you.
And Fizz doesn't even have.
He's got his Void Staff now.
He doesn't have DFG, so he's not even doing full potential damage.
Yeah, one playful trickster is able to take Caitlyn down to half health. God, that is sick. Alright, well, I'm sure it wasn't too fun for the blue team just getting raffle stomped by Fizz and everyone else, but good game. We'll get another one started up.
Yeah, Janna, if you're that far ahead, like I said earlier, I wouldn't be opposed to going to Magi's, because I mean, you went 0-0 and 23, you could have stacked it up, and that's a lot of extra ability power, which is extra movement speed on Janna, which is, obviously extra damage, and then it also increases your slow. And plus you get the CDR from it, but you already had CDR from your other items.
Alright guys, next game is up for Bronze Boot Camp. We'll be setting out invites here. Dip-a-dip-dip-a-dip-doo.
Blue team did really well warding later in the game.
Oh yeah,
But
to their credit, that's something they did really well.
Like looking at the advanced stats, they had 72 wards over the game
Mm-hmm.
to red team's 59, which I would have liked to see red team. That's how you press your advantage. Like you take, bottom lane, you take their tower, and then you put a ward in a little area, but right behind the blue buff where you can see 3 different entrances, and then if your ADC's with you or their jungle's with you, their entrance coming from mid lane, I like to put a ward there because you can see them coming into that side of the jungle most of the time, and you know that you can either keep pushing that bottom lane or you can roam mid and take the mid tower, and because you know that the jungle's not coming from that way, so you can focus one side to where think the jungle's going to come from. But wards in the enemy jungle really help push your advantage. Because once they're in there, it makes it a lot easier to go back in there and refresh them because you know where they are. I can't get in the game. Oh, I guess I can spectate.
Okay, hold on. Okay. Okay, quick question from the Kate last game. He says, when I got cut off by Janna, then 3-person stomped after the jungle fight. Anything I could have done?
I don't
remembering where that spot was exactly.
I don't remember where that spot was either. If Janna was able to cut you off, then and then 3 people jump on you, you were probably out of position. I don't know without going back and actually looking.
Yeah, go ahead, go back, watch the VODs. It may be that we talked about it in there.
Yeah.
Like
you could have been out of position. Maybe a net over a wall. Like I don't know where that happened, Ed. So
yeah,
I can't really tell you.
Okay, so hey, look at that. We have all bronze again. This is fantastic. Thank you guys for coming to Bronze Boot Camp. It's good to have some fresh faces here. All right, so let's get this started.
Dr. Fun started up. So under the second tier turret, the top lane, the rest of the team got melted. I think I remember that fight. If it's the one I'm thinking about. I really don't know what else you could have done. if I'm thinking right, you were all kind of spread out, and you don't need to be in your like when you're behind that much. Nobody needs to be in the jungle, but nobody needs to be by themselves. Period.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's if it's the fight that I'm thinking about towards the end when everybody kept going in one at a time to your blue side jungle, then or top side jungle, then yeah, that's what it was. Everybody was spread out, and they were able to just, all right, well, I killed him, and then, you know, there's nobody around him, so I'll kill him, and there's nobody around him, so I'll kill him, and then everybody's dead, so we'll just kill him.
I like it. Let's talk. Let's talk about the next game here. Let's see. Getting into pick some bans here. Fizz being banned, no friggin' surprise. God damn, that Fizz last game hurt.
Yeah. Well, he's not playing in this game, so.
Yeah, but at the same, Fizz does take a modicum of ability to play, but you know it's not a whole lot. I think.
You can let me play Fizz, and you can win mid lane every time.
Mm-hmm. Besides that, Tristana coming out for a ban. Purple team banning Morgana and Lucian.
Pantheon ban.
That's new, and either I'm target ban maybe.
Yeah, maybe he's playing against somebody that he knows, and he likes to play Pantheon. Like whenever I play against Spork, I like to ban Victor. But
yeah, if you guys want to find out more about when we have Bronze Boot Camp and Battle Arena, go ahead, go to TrinityForcePodcast.com. Along with seeing all the different podcasts there's a tab there to see everything, all our dates and servers that we do Battle Arena and Bronze Boot Camp on. And like always, if you got any questions that we're not able to answer here, go ahead. You can email the Trinity Force guys at feedback@TrinityForcePodcast.com. Is that correct?
Feedback at Trinity Force, yes.
Yeah. So if you're looking for, you can even petition them. Like if you want to have another NA Battle Arena day, we might be trying to do like Tuesdays and Thursdays or something like that. All right, final ban coming in, Rammus. Definitely a contested pick now, seemingly out of nowhere. All right, we just see the Twitch being hovered over. I would love to see Shen in this game as well. I'll even try to get like the Fog of War on the right side so I don't see him coming in. I love the submarines. Who's this Matt guy in chat? He says he helped you to silver.
He was my duo QADC.
Gotcha.
I carried him.
He says he carried you. Who's telling the truth? Come on, Frown. You got carried. Alright, so besides Jinx, we see Vi and Leona being locked in now.
Yeah,
that's a scary bottom lane.
Yeah, so far it's a really scary lane, or it's a scary bottom lane, especially against a Twitch early. Yeah, if they get the advantage, and they can just snowball.
All right, hard. Yeah, you heard it here, folks. If someone picks Victor, Spork will be your best friend, whatever that's worth. I'd say like $5 maybe. I don't know. So yeah, it's Leona mixed with Jinx bottom lane. That is that is deadly.
Yeah, a well-timed flay can,
interrupt the yeah.
It can counter Leona. It's really hard to do because you have to, first of all, you have to be in the right position to do it, and then you have to time it right. And Zenith Blade's really fast, so
you can sort of time it off of the sound effect. Like when Leona's going in, you'll hear her like do a huh, sort of like sound.
Yeah.
And then you can, depending on where Leona is, you can time your flay off of that.
Yeah, and in a Twitch lane, it's really something that you need to do.
Yeah, you need to be protecting Twitch. So what you should be in a very close proximity to your AD carry, especially against the Leona.
Twitch Thresh is kind of a weird lane, because Thresh kind of wants to be a little bit aggro, and Twitch needs to farm a little bit before he can.
It allows, like, if you don't have to be necessarily aggro on Thresh, you can land your Q, let Twitch get down his poison cask, and that's a pretty good poke right there. Like we said in the last game, just because you land your Q doesn't mean you have to go all in. In a lane against, like they have right here, that would be terrible for them to go in on every Q.
Alright, purple team, or blue team is really scary.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they have a lot of just all up in your face engage here. Is that... Oh my god. No, that's got to be an Annie mid lane.
Yeah,
that's gotta be.
I'm not gonna talk about summoners until they can see them, but there's a couple of things though.
Yeah. Gnar probably gonna be for the top lane, I'm assuming.
That's a Zillion mid, and he can be super annoying. If he gets ahead. Against an Annie, it might be kind of hard, but then at the same time, Annie has a shorter range than he does on his bombs, so he might be able to harass Annie out.
Yeah, well, it counters a lot of Annie's aggression when she's able to, like when she hits level 6 and would normally be able to 100-0 an enemy mid laner. That Zillion's ultimate definitely stops Annie from getting ahead.
Yeah.
Kale, huh?
I don't mind Kale into Gnar. You can push back. I think just looking at the team comps, I like blue team to win. They're tankier. They have damage tanks. Like Gnar, he'll build 1 or 2 damage items and then he'll go tank, and he'll be pretty tanky, especially in Mega Gnar form, and he still does a ton of damage.
Yeah, the problem with purple team is it relies so heavily on Twitch when you've got people like Kale and Zillion, who just say, okay, we gotta friggin' make sure Twitch doesn't die. Like if Twitch dies, they are dead. They can't do anything.
Yeah, this is almost a team comp you would see like a professional team run, like that has good communication.
Except Udyr.
Yeah, well, you wouldn't see Udyr, but
something more like a Nunu in the jungle.
Yeah, and then you pretty much have a protected Twitch comp. I'm not a fan of Udyr jungle. I'm not a fan of Udyr in general. It can be played well and it can be helpful, or it can be AFK farm and not help my team at all.
I like Udyr. I don't like Godir.
Yeah.
Udyr maxing like Phoenix into like a more tankier build. Yeah, that's good. It helps your team a lot more than trying to be the carry for your team out of the jungle. Because in a team like this, where they're going to be pushing up on you early, getting that Pharaoh Flare, trying to get stacks, and sacrificing early game pressure in the lanes definitely hurts your team. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to go refill my water bottle here quick, so I'll be right back before the game starts.
Alright, we'll be loading into the game now.
Just in time to switch the overlays.
Yeah.
Alright. Now who's gonna win the skin war? I see 3 for blue and 1, 2, 3,
4 for
4.
purple.
Alright, yep. So they definitely got that going for them.
Alright, so we'll talk about summoners. Both bottom lanes have heal exhaust, which is standard. We have 2 smites this game.
Yeah, that's...
Both mid laners are running ignite. I'm fine with that.
Let's see.
And the Gnar does not have flash, and I don't like that. A lot of people try to get away with not running flash because like Gnar can use his jump, or it's how a dash or something that I can get away with that. But flash is just so good as an escape tool. Even
well, it's if not with Gnar, it can even be used as a good engage tool once you hit that Mega Gnar into your ult.
Yeah, I use more often than not. I'll use my flash as an offensive ability than a defensive one, but it's still nice to have, regardless. Either way, if I don't have it, then I can't flash stun somebody with a stun, or with Gnar I can't flash and knock them into a wall with Mega Gnar, or flash slow them or anything because I don't have it.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like, there's some champions like Shaco that can pull it off just because I hate that person. God. But, yeah, with...
Shaco's mainly in the jungle anyway, so a lot of his is going to be, it's just jumping over a wall with his Q. So he can pull it off because most of his time is going to be spent in the jungle. But he's really the only jungle that I would use it on, because
Shyvana sometimes I'll do it.
Because he's gonna jump over that wall, and he's gonna be invisible. And you can bait people into flashing over a wall after you if you run to a bush and Q and the other way, and you're invisible and they can't see you, so they'll flash over the wall after you.
Okay, so yeah, if you are on the red team and you know that Gnar doesn't have a flash, like, that is just asking for a gank up there.
Yeah, asking for repeated ganks.
Yeah, because you're guaranteed to get KL ahead if you go up there and gank. You're almost guaranteed to get a kill because he doesn't have an escape, a reliable escape. So whatever plans Udyr may have had to just sit in the jungle and farm, don't. Please don't.
Starting builds. Kel went for
Cloth 5. Yeah, fine. You can build that in like a Seeker's Arm Guard early.
I don't necessarily hate it, but I think I probably would still rather seen the Dorans, because you have a little sustain with it for your early game.
Doran's ring or
shield?
Shield. Okay.
If you're gonna go defensive, then shield.
Yeah. Paying attention to other items right now, like Zilean got a mana crystal. So if I'm in it, you should just trying to be like really aggressive onto Zilean. Don't let him get those extra bombs off, because that's what he's going to be trying to do. Go ahead, go aggressive. You got that ignite. Try to get a kill early before he's got his chrono shift to push the lane into your favor.
Yeah, he's going for a fast tier. I don't know if Leona's already used her pot or she didn't get one, but she doesn't have one at this point.
I'm not too sure. It may have been that she didn't go. She went more defensive masteries, and only had the 475 gold. Which even then she should have been able to get a 1, maybe.
Yeah, you can get one.
Yeah. Okay. So when you're playing against Gnar, whenever he hits his Mega Gnar, just kind of let him run it. Let it run its course. You don't need to be the one going aggressive at that point.
There you go. There's the early gank without the flash.
Yeah, he used his jump to get in. He's got nothing to get out.
That was perfect, Udyr. You knew that he didn't have a way to get out, and you saw him going with his jump, and he was stuck.
Ignite goes down. Is it gonna die? It's gonna be enough. It's gonna be enough. Yeah.
That's another wasted flash that you can't with. So Udyr's ganking early. It's nice to see.
Yep.
Would have been nice to get a kill on him there, but
That was good that he backed off.
You can only do so much, and it was good.
Yeah, he got flash. Yeah, that's the combo. Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's bound to happen. Good job on Thresh, and good job on Twitch for taking it.
Yeah, it gets really frustrating playing Thresh and nobody taking lanterns. So is it?
Yeah, oh god. And it's what makes it's kind of what makes Thresh so hard to play in solo queue. It's like there's an immense amount of power in that lantern, and when people don't use it, there's nothing you can do. It's completely out of your control. It's all depending on your teammates.
You'll have one game that every time you throw a lantern down, somebody's going to take it. And you'll have one game where nobody's going to take it at all. Oh,
the max range hook.
Can they
Another hook in time? No, 5 seconds still. Yeah, he's going to be maxing Flay first.
Yeah, right now. They're kind of sticking around kind of low in the bottom lane. And Vi's not far away, so I don't really like that. Leona's low, though, so she can't engage.
Yeah. What are you saving all your pots for here, Kelly? Yeah, you need to be... like, when you're below half health, go pop some potions. You don't need to hang on to them for that long. Okay, Annie going the Roa route.
I don't hate it. It's the safer route. A lot of people like to go. I don't know how he got out of there. A lot of people like to go with the
like Athene sort of route, or
a lot of people like to go DFG first.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Oh man.
Kill right there. I would have liked to see you ult earlier. And get more damage off before he switched to Mega Gnar, and you might would have been able to kill him. But when he goes Mega Gnar, he gets like 650 health or something stupid like that.
Yeah, you wasted 3 potions right there. Okay, hold on. We'll watch this. All right. Yeah, so Kale, and you have 5 potions. You got to spend